Thank you for the $5. Flukas, if hypothetically DJ were to come back and beat Pantoja, would he be on your all-time list? I mean, he's already on my all-time list. The answer would be yes, but I do think that Demetrious Johnson is like one of the most overrated fighters ever based on resume. I think skill-wise, I don't think he's overrated, but I'm just saying resume-wise, I think he is probably, he might be outside of Anderson Silva, the most overrated fighter ever, resume-wise. Like, he was legitimately fighting, what, multiple people that were not even in the top 10. He was fighting guys that were coming off of tough, straight into a title fight. So, yeah. You're never getting that interview. I'm just being honest, bro. And if I did an interview with him and if he were to ask me, I'd be like, yeah, there goes your DJ interview. Bro, I'm going to be honest. Like, Demetrious Johnson's one of my favorite YouTube channels right now, but I'm just saying, like, resume-wise. I didn't say skill. I'm just saying resume-wise. I still think he's the flyweight GOAT, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to put him ahead of other people. It doesn't mean I'm having him ahead of GSP or Jones or Volk. I think Volk has passed him. You know what? The good thing about DJ is his skill. Like, you know, people are lucky that Demetrious Johnson is as skilled as he is because, you know, if he was like Pantoja with that sort of resume, you know, I would not let people talk about him the way they do. But obviously, he's not like Pantoja. Volk is better than DJ. Such a go to take. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's literally no good argument otherwise. There are arguments, but they're not strong arguments. Anyone that argues against me on that take specifically gets sliced and diced. Sliced and diced. That's an easy one to nitpick. That's an easy one to pick apart. Trash take, man. Okay, let me know how it's a trash take. It just, again, people are attached to their old legends. DJ literally beat everyone they put in front of him. Well, that's not necessarily true, though, because he was fighting people that weren't even in the top 10. Demetrious Johnson was given time and time again people that weren't even top 10 fighters in his division. They were giving him tough finale contestants. That's like Islam Makhachev fighting Austin Hubbard or Kurt Holoba right now. And you want to sit here and tell me that those title defenses, they mean a lot? Those mean no more than Volkanovski's first 2 wins in the UFC that no one even thinks about. There's absolutely nothing that Demetrious Johnson has done that is better than Volkanovski. How many times has he lost in his career? 4 times? 5 times? Volk didn't lose until he was 35 in the UFC, in his own division. Didn't lose until he was 35 in his own division. Demetrious Johnson lost to Henry Cejudo when he was like 34. Volk was KO'd twice in 4 months. That gets you out the GOAT list. You could just say Demetrious Johnson got chinned in ONE FC. That should get you out the GOAT list as well. But it shouldn't. I think that getting knocked out, depending on who it's against, it's not a bad look, especially if you're old. Volk got knocked out at the age of 35, where no 35-year-old has ever won a single title fight. If there was an example of a 35-year-old that was able to win a title fight at 145, 135, 155, 125, then I would sit here and I would say, you know what? Someone else has done it. Volk couldn't. But it is literally right now never been done. No 35-year-old has never won a title fight in any of the lighter weight classes. So therefore, you can't say, well, Volk never did that, or Volk got knocked. Well, so is everyone else. There's never been someone that's not been beat as a 35-year-old. Volk lost when it was statistically okay to lose. Volk's only loss in his division is when it was statistically permissible to lose. All these other GOATs, when they've lost, it wasn't statistically permissible. Okay? Aldo lost in his early 30s. Usman lost at welterweight when he was 35. Usman was 35 when he got head kick KO'd. There have been champions at welterweight at the age of 35. It was not statistically permissible. You guys understand, people know in this chat that Volkanovski is literally a top 5 fighter, and they have no good argument against that. They have no good argument against it. Usman doesn't have an argument. DC doesn't have an argument. Stipe doesn't have an argument. There's literally like 3 fighters that have ever walked the earth that have an argument for being better than Volk. That's GSP, that's John Jones, and that's arguably Demetrious. But no, I can't say Demetrious is better than him. Now, if you really get down to the nitty gritty, there's only 2. He's top 3. Yeah, no, screw top 5. Volk is top 3 all time. And people can argue with me and I'll like try to nitpick the argument. That it's damn near impossible. It's a bulletproof argument. DC is miles better than Volk. What the fuck are you saying? Okay, let's talk about this. DC is better than Volk. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it. Thank you for the $2. Volk is number 5 at best. He'll never be top 3. All right, well, I can easily shut that argument down. Thank you for the $5. Unironically, I don't think Volk will ever win a fight again. That's the one thing that can potentially drop him down. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. Not better than Daniel Cormier. This is like the easiest argument to destroy. Let's see. Who did Daniel Cormier lose to? He lost to the GOAT, Jones. Nothing wrong with that. And then he lost to number 10 all-time Stipe Miocic when he was an old head. Okay, fair enough. Those losses aren't that bad. They're not that bad. Fair enough. Has that loss aged well? Ilia Topuria just knocked out Volkanovski. He's about to have an entire title reign. Daniel Cormier is getting beat by Stipe before Stipe falls off. Stipe is literally falling off. He lost to a washed Stipe. Okay? Now let's talk about DC's wins. DC's best wins. Alexander Gustafsson, Stipe Miocic, which he's lost to twice. And then what else? Dan Henderson? You're going to say he's better than Aldo? You're going to sit here and tell me that Derek Lewis, 5 sets of tomfoolery himself, Volkan Ozdemir, and Rumble? Rumble's pretty good, but guess what? Rumble's on the same level as Yair and Ortega. Rumble's on the same level as Yair Ortega. That's the same sort of title defense. So Rumble Johnson's lost to Vitor Belfort. He's lost to Josh Koscheck. He's lost to Kevin Burns. He's lost to Rich Clemente. And he's lost to DC. Interesting. So beating Rumble Johnson. And what were Rumble Johnson's best wins? We got Gus. We got Glover. Ryan Bader. Big Nog. You know, Rumble's pretty good. I'll give him that. Rumble's pretty good. He's pretty good, but he's not on the same level as Max Holloway. Stopping your coping? All right, let's actually, you know what? Let's actually look at this. Let's actually look at this. So we have DC's best wins. DC's best wins. Rumble Johnson, Alexander Gustafsson. Volkanovski's best wins. Max Holloway and Stipe Miocic. Stipe's on here too. Max Holloway, Jose Aldo, and Chad Mendes. Okay? If you actually look at Alexander Gustafsson's career, he has a good resume. It's not that clear of Chad Mendes. It's not that clear. Good resume. Close. But fair enough. How does Max compare to Rumble Johnson? DC beat Rumble twice. Okay. Volk beat Max 3 times. Get that out of here. Clear of it. Not only is he a better fighter all time, not only is Max Holloway a top 10 fighter of all time, but he's also beat him 3 times. Okay. Let's look at Jose Aldo. You're going to talk about Stipe? Okay. Where's Stipe on the all-time list? He's behind Aldo. How many times did DC beat him? Once. How many times did Volk lose to Aldo? 0 times. How many times did DC lose to Stipe? Twice. So 1 win and no losses against Aldo, who is higher on the GOAT list than Stipe, is better than 1 win and 2 losses against Stipe, who's lower on the GOAT list than Aldo. Come on, it's clear as day. Take a look at Stipe's wins. I've already seen Stipe's wins. He beat JDS. Guess what? He also lost to him. He beat DC. Guess what? He lost to him. He beat Ngannou. Guess what? He's 1-1 with him. Stipe lost to, you know, fair enough, there was an eye poke that led to it, but he lost to Stefan Struve. I'm just being honest. Like, you know, you're sitting here and you're comparing apples to oranges. Volkanovski is 100% clear of DC.